Hello everybody, and welcome back to another day of Gloomhaven. Today we will be taking on the Triforce solo scenario, and we'll see what we're up to after that. Let's delete all this stuff. Just pause these things. We should be good to go in just a second here. Don't think there was anything else to change. Alright. So, let's have a look. I have intentionally not, I know I'm allowed to study it, but I chose not to study it in advance so that I could go through it together, seeing it for the first time with all of you. So like I said, today we'll be doing Triforce Soul. So let's read all this. These scenarios have no. Well, I'll just read it to myself. There's no reason to read this out loud or read anything relevant out loud. All right, nothing special there really. So we're playing Triforce, which is on page 19. All right. So yeah. Oh wait, we don't increase, these are just supposed to be played on recommended difficulty, right? I guess no one's here yet. Good day, ECO. Ah, ECO, perfect. These are meant to be played on recommended difficulty. I'm not supposed to increase the difficulty for these, right? Just the normal monster level? Which would be Y level divided by 2. Yep, okay. That's why it's a fair point, though, saying that they get significantly more difficult. I haven't done one yet, so I don't think I feel that brave. I feel like if they're supposed to be significantly harder, I'll probably just do the recommended difficulty. And if it ends up being too easy this time, I might consider increasing the difficulty for a future one. But yeah, so that was why you said yesterday that it gets harder at 7, because obviously 7 gives you level 4 monsters, and level 4 monsters is when the difficulty really spikes because they get their additional abilities. All right, so we can study this. Interesting. So we'll have a level 4 elite wind demon, huh? Which is, so our goal is to kill all enemies. 3 spear is really easy, okay. Yeah, so maybe for that, we'll go a little bit differently. I'm gonna tackle my first one. All right, so we got the 4 base elemental types. We have not done this one. All right. In the order. So I wonder how we're even supposed to deal. I guess, does this one become enormously more difficult at 4? Because let's see, at 3, right, I imagine that they didn't, yeah, it doesn't have the disarm, and at 4, disarm. Huh, interesting. Because we can't actually kill that. I mean, at absolute best case, we can kill that in 2 turns of attacking. We don't have items to remove disarm either. Whew. All right. Yeah. I guess by going up to level 7. Well, we're gonna have Vengeance, so some stuff is gonna be a lot easier for us, but this thing specifically will be a lot harder for us. Interesting. Well, it's fun to have a challenge. All right, so we're allowed to study this as much as possible. So first, let's settle these things out. We can do our shopping and everything beforehand. I don't think we'll probably spend any money unless it really looks like we have to. All right, so again, we've read the special rules before. Let's go over them again. At the start of each round, move one. Well, actually, why don't we set up the entire map first? Let's not be silly. So, ECO, do you have road or city events? Because I know you can do personal quest progression, battle goals, and stuff like that, but can you do, I mean, I guess road is, since you don't really know where they are, maybe not, but do you get to do city events? For example, I mean, yeah, we would have done one today. Do you get to do city events relative to these or no? They're considered in Gloomhaven, but are they still considered performing a scenario? So you still get a city event? Because even after completing scenarios in Gloomhaven, you still get to do city events. B3B, C2B. You don't know. I'm gonna assume that they are. To be perfectly, I mean, if you find something contradictory, I'll change it for the future. But for now, I think we will just do city events. The truth is, I mean, I think most parties, and I think this is a perfectly reasonable house rule, will end up house ruling city events to allow themselves to do. Yeah, I know we can get one now for sure. The question will be whether we can get one afterwards. But most parties will end up house ruling, allowing themselves to do city events and road events when doing casual mode scenarios at some point, because at some point you'll just be locked out of progression. You'll never be able to get new scenarios unless you're able to do events off of casual mode scenarios. So I think just allowing city events here certainly doesn't hurt, since it's probably something we're gonna have to do in the long run anyway, is allow ourselves to do city events when we otherwise wouldn't be able to. So I think it's reasonable to do it here. All right, well anyway, we're gonna do one to start, but we'll figure that out in a second. So I guess actually we should do our city event first, so we have all the necessary information leading into this scenario. All right. And the doors. Lock these. I did not lock these. That was not so smart. All right. Beautiful. So start down here. All right, city event first. Let's just take care of that quickly. Ah, makes sense that we want to do that one, right? With our character. Yeah. Oh, no! I mean, I guess this was probably the right choice, but oh, no! They do not interact with the campaign. Okay. Well, anyway, we got that city event there, so we just won't get one after this. We got a prosperity from our city event, which is why we were saying, oh, no. Let's shuffle these up. Let's set up the first room. So we have poison and damage traps for this scenario. So we'll have one poison and damage trap here. We have one of each elemental type in the first room, huh? All normal. So killing normals is kind of our specialty. They are quite conveniently spread out, but we can give them a little bit of time to clump up, I suppose. Seems like an invis cloak would be almost a guaranteed way to get through this easily. Not for here, but for our way to deal with that elite wind demon. Alright, so it's always going to be the same sort of thing, right? We have the 4 enemies in here, all normal, and then we're going to do elite, elite, and 2 elites at the same time, but the weakest elites. Again, this should be... The Flame Demon's not too difficult for us because we have Winter's Edge. These two, I mean, whatever. We'll figure out a way we can mostly kite them. This one can hit us. I don't know, there can be issues, but not really, even because we get to see their cards in advance. So this is the only thing that's actually very problematic for us, is we'll have to figure out some way of dealing with that. We'll have to go through our cards. All right, so let's go over the special rules. At the start of each round, move one specific element to the strong column. Starting with air in the first round, move elements in the order of air, ice, earth, fire, and then back to air, repeating the cycle. So air, ice, earth, fire, okay. In addition, you may choose your ability cards for the round after revealing the enemy ability cards instead of before. Okay. It's an interesting little gimmick. So 11 health. Get all our items. All right, so let's get to thinking about how we approach this. We can move all their stuff aside. Oops. Yeah, we do get a battle goal. That's correct. I guess we should go ahead and grab that now, just in case. Kill 3 or fewer monsters is literally impossible. Have 1 or more monsters present, probably never happening either. Nice. Nothing like getting a battle goal we can't win. All right, we can't complete. I mean, theoretically we can, but. All right, so let's have a look. Well, we always want vengeance. Are there any cards that we have down here that could help us deal with that wind demon? So us, we can win with already wound with ice spikes. Malleable evocation can theoretically wound, but doesn't do much beyond that. It can also poison, I guess. So fire and earth could be interesting. The range is so terrible, though. The invis can only affect allies, so that doesn't help us. This can stun, as can the other thing, but neither of them really deal any damage. Push is relevant, though, because those traps, I guess, are kind of valuable. Especially in this room up here, there'll be 2 traps and 2 melee elite enemies. So the AoE push is actually quite decent up there on Tremulent Cyclone. This is a Pierce, but I mean, it's an attack 3 Pierce 2, so it's just effectively a 5. Yeah, it's true. Better get that retaliate going indeed. If we get 3 retaliate on the Wind Demon, yeah, then I mean we can actually deal 3 that way to him. Although melee retaliate, so even then, I don't know how we get. I mean, well, we'd have to see that he's not moving. All right. Well, anyway, let's fan out our stuff. So we don't need a ton of movement. So crystallizing blast is a possibility for being cut. So let's. What is the order again? If only they could actually be air, ice, earth, fire. Air, ice. Like, why is it not in order on here? Well, it's in the backwards order of their setup. Okay. It's kind of annoying to remember. So it's at the beginning of the round, right? Yes. All right, it's the start of the round. So we'll start with air. Doesn't really do much for us. And so in the 5th round and then the 9th round, we'll also have air, which is relevant potentially for, again, our AoE push. It's only push 1 though. That's actually terrible. So it's actually better to try to use this to target for push. Morning, Themris. I'm not really happy with you for for voting for this one, suggesting this one. I mean, really, we have to solo 1 versus 1 an elite Wind Demon with disarm? Like, what? How is that fun design? The rest of the scenario seems fine, but honestly, having to go 1 versus 1 against an elite Wind Demon with disarm is kind of silly. Yeah, we are doing solos. I mean, I know if we did it at level 5, it wouldn't have disarm, and then it would be a different story, but obviously at level 7, it does have disarm, and it is completely different. All right. Yeah, I understand. That's correct. If it didn't have disarm, this would be completely different. But I think the possibility of this having disarm is pretty silly, right? I mean, I guess we may just have to buy an Invis Cloak, but yeah, I'm really not a fan. Really not a fan. I guess the best case for us, since we can see what they're going to do, we can maybe predict exactly how much it would move. It's just difficult. So what we would have to do then would maybe be something like opening the door, running away, and then being able to see exactly how much it's going to move, putting ourselves just outside the range of that. So then it moves up, we go in after it and hit it, and then go fast the following turn, although our fastest can not even guaranteed beat that. Oh yeah, we're not playing at increased difficulty here. But I mean, again, the fact that it's at difficulty 4 is actually just because we're level 7. This is the recommended difficulty. This is +0 difficulty. All right. Yeah, they get the disarm at level 4, exactly. That's why going to level 7 specifically is a really big problem for us. All right, so we need to bring in Vengeance. What is not useful here? I guess we have to move a lot, so Burial is probably not super useful. But it actually can be quite good in this room against the 2 melee elites up there. The top actually can. With Earth, we can get a nice immobilize. Yeah, I understand. I'm just teasing you a little bit. We'll see. We'll try to figure out a way around it. I mean, like I said, even in a 2-player party, going against elite level 4+ Wind Demons is kind of obnoxious. Playing a solo scenario against them is, I don't know, in my opinion, bad design. But I guess it's just a hurdle to be overcome, and we possibly have some tools for that. I mean, like I said, worst case scenario, we can just buy an Invis Cloak, which costs us, what, 5 gold, 6 gold, and allows us to complete the scenario. So, mm, actually, know what we don't want. Well, like I said, we definitely want this because of the push, the stun. Both these things can be valuable. This push actually sucks in the end, like I said, because it's only push 1. It won't be enough to put them into the traps. Don't think any of these other cards actually really matter. Again, the wound and the poison could be relevant against the Wind Demon, but I don't think so. So probably just Shaping Ether and Vengeance need to come in. So which cards are not going to be good here? Crystallizing Blast seems pretty mediocre. I mean, we can hit a bunch of enemies in the first room, but creating a bunch of elements isn't necessarily even good. I mean, it can be if we can go fast with Simulacrum. The issue is just, again, that the enemies can so easily go faster than us. I mean, we have to keep Primal Duality. Ice Spikes. Yeah, this gives us a long-range wound, which might be our best. It's possible to just have to wound the Wind Demon and then slowly die to it while it slowly dies as well. I don't even know. But this does seem worthwhile, which means we want this as well. It's possible we don't even need raw enhancement. Honestly, we don't need to move much for this scenario. It seems like a pretty easy cut. So we have to cut one more card. Could even just be Formless Power. Really feel like it's probably Formless Power, Crystalizing Blast, which are the least relevant for us here. Yeah, I know we need boosted Winter's Edge, without a doubt. But we've already got this ice Infernal Vortex, worst case scenario, and most likely we're not planning on using the top of Stoking Hail. We have Stoking Hail more to use the top of Ice Spikes here, so this one ice plus our wand is already enough. It is fair that we could consider having, yeah, maybe we can just cut Formless Power. I'm not sure if that's correct. Range 4 is actually kind of nice. I mean, no, Shaping Ether is going to be so good in the room with the two elites. Those traps are so valuable. It's been a while, yeah. Yeah, all right, let's cut Formless Power. Let's try like this. Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, we can always retry. Maybe get a battle goal we can actually successfully complete. All right, I guess we can move our cards over here. Actually, we can do a hand. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right, let's put a hand. Create a hand zone real quick. Nope. Create a giant hand zone. Boom. Nice. All right, so we start down here. Well, I guess before we choose our cards, we just get to see what they're all doing, huh? Before we do anything here. Now that we've chosen that. So we'll have wind this round. By the way, Themris, my second complaint about this scenario is the fact that the elemental order is not in the order of the board. It's technically in reverse setup order based on the recommended setup. I mean, either if it was in setup order, okay. Reverse setup order is kind of eh. But I mean, really the most logical thing would be to have it in the board order. I guess the specific order maybe has more to do with the elementalist. I don't even really know. Air, ice now. I mean, I guess having those two together makes Winter's Grasp easier. All right, let's have a look at what they're up to. So these. Yeah, maybe. I mean, nitpicking is what I do, though. Oh, this is actually really annoying. It's actually going to require me to... All right, well, what we're going to do then is we're just going to tell it that we're long resting each time, and then we'll put it in our thing. Because it's easier than manually doing all of them. All right, so they have ice, so what are they all up to? Flame Demon's not moving, so that's really good. Flame Demon we don't have to worry about at all. Earth Demon has 2 movement, creates Earth, kind of also could be relevant, don't really know. Frost Demon has 2 movement as well, so that they're actually both going to make it like this. It's interesting because then we can Vengeance them next turn. These aren't really the 2 we need to Vengeance, but the Wind Demon should be moving as well. Ooh, if only we had the compass. All right, so the Wind Demon will have 4 movement. We'll have Wind as well, so we can do his bigger attacky thing. Don't think we're going to be able to use the Wind. All right, so let's see. What's their order? So first it's going to be the Wind Demon with 4. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, yes. It is actually going to be the triple clump right there. Oh, man, Vengeance. Well, level 7 is making this scenario significantly easier and significantly harder. So even from here, he will not hit us. Yeah, it is a perfect shape, exactly. Because then these two go there, this goes here, this one doesn't move, but that's fine. So we literally don't need to damage any of these. It accomplishes nothing, and we don't want to move up either because his shaping thing. So yeah. We just need to play this no matter what. And then what else? I mean, we can create other elements by hitting with Crystalizing Blast, but this doesn't do anything since we know for sure we're using Vengeance next turn. So it really doesn't matter at all what top action we play, right? There's nothing we can do that really gets us any benefit here. We could go late. I don't know. There's no real world in which we're going up and hitting the Flame Demon when staying back there. All right. And if we create any elements this turn? No, the next turn we don't use them. It's a little bit weird to think about because we've already seen the cards. I'm kind of thinking too many turns. All right, so we just need to play an action that we don't want in the next 4 turns, basically. Shaping the Ether was kind of taken in order to mess with this room up here, so it's probably not great. Burial is also not great. Burial is also more for this room up there. Either one of these could really be gotten rid of. I guess Shaping the Ether probably has more application than Burial does. So let's just play Burial. All right. So this worked well. Anyway, so we reveal our cards. We're at 65. It's annoying how this is going to work on TTS, for sure. But oh well. So the Wind Demon goes first. Like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. We did play Burial, or Primal Duality, yes. So the Wind Demon's done. The Flame Demon does nothing. The Earth Demon creates Earth. Frost Demon creates Frost, but both of them have only 2 movement. Yeah, that was basically the dream in terms of them moving literally perfectly for us. Actually, sorry, the Frost Demon goes after we go. All right, so the Frost Demon's still there. It's gonna take some getting used to, messing with this stuff. All right, so we're at 65 now. Yeah, so we're just not gonna do anything with Burial. Where do we want to stand then? The Flame Demon typically has 4 movement, 4 range, so he can really hit us always, right? So there's not really much of an advantage to not moving up. I guess we should. I guess the further back we are, the easier it is to play around preventing him from hitting us, I suppose, by seeing what he's doing or something like that. Yeah, I think this is reasonable to just stay back here, actually. I don't really see a reason to move up for now. So next turn there will be ice created, so it would be nice if we had a move that created air. We actually maybe messed up with that. Yeah, we should have maybe brought this just for the second turn. Hey, Themris. So, yeah, well, then, I mean, being level 4 is adding some, yeah, the perfect information indeed. Being level 4, I mean, having a level 4, being level 7, which has level 4 scenario, is certainly creating some silliness as well. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to move up, so we'll just move in place and play Primal Duality. I guess theoretically we don't even have to play Primal Duality. We could just actually hit something with Burial, but again, it changes nothing since we already have another element to consume. But yeah, that's fine. We'll just move in place and do nothing with the top, and then this goes there. And that's it. We have to go fast now. That's the one issue. We only have 17 initiative as our best. We already used our 15 here. Hopefully it's good enough. All right, let's just... All right, we're just going to do this way. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I didn't want to have to buy something specifically for this. I understand that a Cloak of Invisibility would 100% be better for me than a Robes of Evocation for this scenario, without a doubt. I mean, there obviously can't be any doubt about this. Robes of Evocation is better in larger groups, and the Cloak of Invisibility is incredible when you're by yourself, or 2 cloaks when you're 2 players. I just didn't want to have to buy an item for this if I didn't need to, so I'm going to try it once without, and if we can't beat the Wind Demon without it, then we'll end up buying it. Spare 6 gold, thank you very much. Hey, I'm obsessed with efficiency, Themris. It's also just a challenge for myself to see if I can successfully complete the scenario without having to need that. All right, so the Flame Demon's actually going to move first, which means he has 3 movement. 1, 2, he just goes to there. Yeah, so we couldn't, I mean, because it would be nicer if we could hit him with Vengeance, but that's not really possible. And we could hit him, the Earth Demon, but that's much worse than hitting 3 targets. My reputation is great, thank you. I've gotten good reputation basically, I think, almost every single time I can. It's just the town hasn't wanted to give me enough reputation for some reason. It has something to do with some monster or demon or something that I helped, but I'm not really sure. Or Jixera that I helped. I don't know. A lot of questionable decisions by our party, fairly enough. It's true actually that if we hadn't helped Jixera, we would have higher reputation. Oof. All right. Anyway, let's get to vengeancing. So no, we can't go at 33. We need to be 29. I mean, yeah. Well, so hold on. No. Ice is going to be created this round no matter what. So we actually don't need to move and create ice. We do have to use our wand to create wind. That's not a big deal because we'll need to Winter's Edge the Flame Demon the following turn. Except he's gonna create. No, but he goes after us. So we do need to actually create ice because he's gonna go before us. He's actually gonna consume. Oh, Themris, by the way, you weren't here for this, but I realized what. First of all, I hate playing this class. Well, I haven't been playing with Vengeance yet, but I realize part of what's making me hate playing this class is my rigid rules in terms of element ambiguity, you know? So rules is written when you have something like this. Wind is getting consumed. No. Wind Demon we're killing. Yeah, he'll be dead. Only this will go before us and consume the fire or the ice. So yeah. Anyway, Thermos, what I was explaining is because you know my rules. So the rule is he'll always consume ice. So if you play this class normally, you could choose which element you don't want and have him consume that. But because me, I don't like to. Yes, I know. But because I don't like to be able to have the opportunity to exploit ambiguity in general, I just stick with my strict rules. And for this class specifically, it is actually a nightmare to have to do this. Last scenario, it created so many problems. Here again. Yeah, I understand. But I'm just saying, with my rules, I do hate this. I mean, the problem is I would just feel cheap if I changed it just for this class. Yeah, I agree. No, agree completely. All right, so we do need to create ice because he will actually consume ice. So we'll create ice will be created at the beginning of the round, but then he'll consume it. So then we create it again. We create wind with our wand, but these three things will be dead. Perfect. All right. Well, anyway, this is what we're doing this round. So the flame demon goes first. What's the weight? My rule is that so I don't give myself ambiguity basically because I don't want to be able to exploit it. No, I don't pick whatever's worse for me because then that also is subjective. I just have a steadfast rule. So the first rule is that demons always consume their opposite, the element which can actually actively hurt them. Because every single demon in the game has something which has a card which gives them a negative effect if their opposite element is up, right? So for example, a flame demon will always consume ice first, an earth demon will always consume wind, a frost demon will always consume fire, and a wind demon will always consume earth. After that, ECO actually made a logical table, which is what I follow. That is more nebulous though, fair enough. But I think it thematically makes sense for a demon. I mean, like this part of my rule at least I think is reasonable. It's quite logical. For a demon to always consume its opposite makes sense. After that, it's you know why does it make no sense? If it but I mean if they so the point is this ability but they are able to, Themis. So Themis said that makes no sense. They are weak to their opposite. They should not be able to neutralize it. So I disagree with you. It is able to neutralize it. If there is no other element, it will always neutralize its opposite element. So it is de facto capable of neutralizing its opposite element. And therefore, if it is capable of doing that, if it had the choice, which it certainly would have no reason not to, it would choose to take the element which is the worst for it because it as a given can do that. Correct. Well, the player would choose what's best for them, not necessarily what's best for the demon, so it depends. But yes, I mean, but it is still part of the rules. Anyway, let's not dwell on this for too long. Like I said, this flame demon will move to here and is going to create a kind of useless trap. Well, it wouldn't show them consuming everything but the opposite because, like I said, many times the consumption you would choose would be based on your personal abilities, not what's the opposite for the demon. When all other things are equal, that's true. You would leave the element which is the worst for most likely to be the worst for the demon. So all three of these spaces are pretty much the same. Sure. I guess this creates a bit of a trap wall, which is actually going to be most annoying for me, so why not? Come on. Oh, TTS. Yeah, it's a good question. How it will be handled. To be honest, I would not be surprised if they do automatically consume their opposite elements in digital. But I suppose we'll see. All right. So Flame Demon creates that there. Then we're up next. No, and he consumes the ice. Well, so ice was actually made strong, and then he's consumed it, and now there's a fire. And so it's our turn. So we're going to consume dark. So next round, Earth is going to be infused strong. Well, we should consume fire because we don't want him to have the opportunity of using fire. Even though he only has one card left of it, and it shouldn't matter, it still makes sense to do this. So we'll consume fire and dark using vengeance, gaining 1 experience, and we'll simply kill all 3 of these. Is this balanced? Yes, totally balanced. This is a reasonable card. Completely a reasonable action. With a very reasonable balance between the top and bottom of that action. Alright. Those 3 are dead. And that's the end of the round. And, oh yes, so, sorry, no, that was what we did first. Then we have a move 2 that creates ice. I'll just go to here, creating ice, and then we will use our Wand of Storms to create wind. Sorry, we just did we were so excited to use the Top of Vengeance finally that we just completely forgot about everything else we were doing that turn. All right, so Winter's Edge is an easy enough kill on this guy. And earliest initiative, just to be sure that he dies. Oh, hold on, I guess no matter what we always see. Okay, well, earliest initiative doesn't really matter then, huh? So he's always attacking us. His attack is going to be for 2, so be it. And he's creating fire. There will be earth as well this round. Oh yeah, these things should be like this. God, it's really annoying to play this scenario on TTS just because of the fact that you can't interject. But my biggest issue in the guide is that I can't decide if the crutch is worth it at level 1 or not. Wait, it's definitely not once you hit level 2. What crutch? All right, so it's always going before us, creating fire and hitting us. So in that case, we can do basically whatever we want, but a move 2 is enough. What crutch are you talking about, though? Oh, shaping Yether's bottom? Oh god, that bottom action, woof. That's an interesting question, I suppose. Yeah, I could see the argument at level 1 it potentially being worth it because you have so little elemental generation. But my biggest argument against that is it's the second loss. Because the bottom of Formless Power is so good, and is even good at level 1. Really? I mean, admittedly, I've never played the class at level 1, and I'm not sure that anyone will ever play this class at level 1, so I think this is kind of an irrelevant discussion, and I would argue that from 2 plus, you definitely should always use it because it's so good with Crystalizing Blast. So, it's kind of a moot point one way or the other. So where do we want to go first? Well, we need our piercing stuff to deal with them. We don't really have good, well, hold on. So there's going to be earth infused, and then after that fire, so we would need wind again for our push. Just so you know, Thermos, it's a moot point, not a mute point. Mm-hmm. I hope I'm not incorrect on this, but I believe so. Yeah, moot, M-U-M-O-T. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, the English language. Fair enough. I won't argue with that with you on that one. Especially because living here in France, I always try to. My best argument for English is that it's mostly phonetic, and then people are like, "Oh yeah, what about the word subtle?" Pikachu face. All right. God, what do we even do after this? We don't really have anything. Like I said, so we have Earth, which comes up this turn, and then the following turn we'll have Fire. So Earth and Fire doesn't. I guess the following turn Fire allows us to Ice Spikes. Maybe hitting the Wind Demon with that, huh? The problem is its range is so long, we won't have Winter's Grasp ready. How do we ever get out of the disarm lock? It also just does a ton of damage, right? I mean, it hits for 4. We're already going to take 2 here, so we can't take that many hits to it. Yeah, Spanish isn't bad. The worst thing about Spanish is the like 3 different past tenses. How about the Flame Demon? How much health does it have? It has 5 health. 5 health, 4 shield, so Winter's Edge actually just kills it. Maybe we just spend some time picking up some coins, honestly, after we kill this, and then long rest. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I think we're just trying to overthink this a little bit too much. Ooh. What if we do have a solution for dealing with that Elite Wind Demon? We can summon the Doppelganger. We can Doppelgang it. That can actually be the solution. That's how we deal with this stupid thing. We summon this stupid thing, which tanks the disarm, and then we get to beat it. Morning Antares. So we need to do that last probably because we actually want to keep Simulacrum. So that's the last room. So we just have to keep basically our one of our 2 ice generations. Well, we can even do it. I mean, we get one of these generated for us no matter what. And we've got our mana potion still. So technically we don't really have to keep anything except Simulacrum then and Winter's Edge to beat this room. So let's deal with the other rooms first. All right, well anyway. So we're not gonna have a lot of elements here. Like I said, we'll have Earth created this round and then Fire the following round. And this round, the only element we could create would be Fire, which gets created the next round anyway, so this is kind of irrelevant. If we have Fire and Ice, this can be a decent combo. If only we could prolong the... We can actually keep the Earth as well. That is a very good question. Yes, I would assume you can attack. So the question was, yeah, I would say. Weird question. If the Simulacrum is disarmed, can you attack from it? I think the answer is definitely yes, but it would be more thematic if it were no. I agree that the answer is definitely yes, and I would agree that it's also more thematic, would be more thematic if it was no. Well, that's why we're long resting Antares. Yeah, exactly. You are the source of the attacks. I mean, I don't know. Most of these cards don't really matter. I guess this and this can theoretically matter, and maybe this, and accordingly maybe this. So let's just get rid of this, I guess. But this is also our biggest movement. I don't know. We don't need all this. This is kind of silly. I'm really overdoing this. All right, let's just go to Ice Spikes. Who cares? This is fine. All right. Well, yeah, we don't get to do the reveal. So here we go. So the Flame Demon goes first, creates Fire, and Earth is also created this round. And he makes an attack -1 on us, so an attack 2. Every time we shuffle, like, get this. All right, so we take 3 damage, that's fine. And then, well, let's hope to not miss. This is the worst case here. So then we consume ice and air. We gain 1 experience. We do attack 5, range 4, pierce 4, targeting the Flame Demon. Well, that would have been nicer later, but so be it. All right, and then we use the bottom of our other cards, generic move 2, and we go to this coin. I guess if our plan is to maybe just... So do we dick around for a little bit here? Just picking up coins? Now that we have a solution here, I mean, we still have these things to deal with, which are not so easy. It's maybe greedy to try to grab all these coins. Yeah, I think let's not. So what if we do a move 4 to here? I guess we have our boots. We can even move more than that if necessary. Yeah, all right. So these go down. These go into our discard. So this round, it's going to be Fire, which is created, which we already have, so it doesn't really change anything. So we can have Fire and Earth. We could have created Earth here. We could have created something else with that, but Fire and Earth is not bad with Shaping Ether. We really do want to push them, though. Over here, we need to save Winter's Edge. We basically just need to repeatedly play Winter's Edge. How do you do this scenario if you don't have Winter's Edge? Is this scenario basically like require it? Yeah, I tend to agree with Emrys. I think it might be impossible without Winter's Edge. Further solidifying that there is in fact a correct choice at level 5. All right, anyway, so move 4 onto the door. Maybe we attack with Shaping Ether with Hawk Elm, maybe we don't, who knows. So this is interesting. So the one round we actually can't see what they're going to do is when we're going to open a door. Yeah, that's true. You could have piercing bow. But piercing bow, I mean, let's think about this though, right, Themris? So assuming you don't have vengeance, so assuming you're level 5 or 6, which does seem to be what the scenario is designed around based off of the stupid disarm on this thing. You can't really kill the flame demon and the wind demon here so easily. I mean, if you have vengeance, it's kind of a different story. And you can only use the piercing bow once. And there's this, and maybe these things as well that need it. Yeah, there's also, I mean, chain lightning would kind of work in here. So you could chain lightning the shield of things here theoretically, but then you still have both of these, and you can only piercing bow once. It's still rough. Yeah, it seems like a soft requirement. All right, so anyway, we don't actually get to see what they're going to do this round, which is a little bit annoying. I think that's how it works, right? Hey, Core Lord. Oh, congratulations, Core Lord. I knew I was like, I have something to say to him, and I forget what it is. I mean, it would have been a little bit more exciting if it was less of a blowout, but we'll take it, right? A win is a win. And I guess it being a blowout towards Alabama also feels a little bit good, if we're being honest. All right, so it's these two cards. Initiative really doesn't matter at all. All right, so I guess this round we can actually do this manually for once. So reveal, and then fire goes strong. Football, yeah. Quarlard is a Clemson fan who lives in Alabama. And I'm not sure if you're familiar enough with living in the US or not, but basically, if you're not from Alabama, it's required that you hate Alabama football. I'm not sure if you've ever heard Roll Tide, but at some point in your life, you will. All right, so we're going to use the bottom of Crystalizing Blast, so move 4. 1, 2, 3. Go to this door. Yeah, this is college football we're talking about here. Super Bowl, obviously professional. I mean, it's not a big deal. I can't blame you for not caring too much about football, American football. It's a rather barbaric sport. And I'm a Redskins fan by default, though I hate that name. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Themris moving to the US and supporting a racist team. You've truly become an American. All right. Let's flip both of these. It was maybe a mistake to play Shaping the Earth this turn, because now we won't have the push for next turn. And I also just don't like football because I find it incredibly irresponsible how much this country promotes it. Yeah, that's fair. Especially at a young age. Especially now that with everything we know about concussions. All right, so let's see. He's not going to heal himself. The immobilize his range 2, so this doesn't really matter. Here, this has 2 movement, so it's only going to make it to here. Well, it's a good thing we weren't planning on pushing next turn, because that seems more difficult. We can take 1 turn off and then do some pushing. So, 2 movement to there. We can use our Hawk Helm now and actually hit both of them, which honestly is probably worth it. It's a bit of free damage. All right, let's set their health. So it's 21 and 18 respectively. Not insignificant amount of health. All right, so let's go ahead and use our Hawk Helm, and let's consume the fire and earth, gaining 1 experience using the top of Chafing Ether. So the fire gives us +2 attack, and the earth gives us +1. Oh, it makes target 2, not plus. Yeah. So accordingly, we get an attack 3 to target, and because we use our Hawk Helm, we get range 4, which means we can attack from the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, hitting both of them. All right, so we'll do the Earth Demon and then the Ice Demon. And it never reshuffled because we've not been doing these things manually. Perfect. I mean, we have been doing it manually. All right, so first for the flame Earth Demon. All right, so 4, and then the Ice Demon. It's kind of a more threatening one. Well, this has immobilize, so I guess did it have immobilize at 3? It did. Okay. All right. Anyway, so like I said, +1, so we got a 4 and a 2 actually. Well, at least taking them down kind of evenly. All right. And so then the Frost Demon goes, immobilizes everything in range 2. That does nothing. And then the Earth Demon goes, creates a new Earth. And next is going to be Air. We'll see here. And then moves 2. Okay. It's the end of the round. So now we get to see what they're up to. Hold on. Oh no, we have to decide whether we want to short rest now or not. Oh, that's tough. We don't really have great. I mean, we can basically simulacrum 1 target for 5, which is not bad. We don't get a 2-target simulacrum, but that's kind of okay. Because yeah, it'll be air, which is created next round. So we'll have 2 elements. I think it's probably fine. The biggest issue is our 28 initiative is a little bit scary. I don't think the Earth Demon can beat 28 initiative, though. There's just the Frost Demon. We did also want a long rest. We never actually did that because we entered this room. Might be going a little bit faster than necessary. No, I think I won't short rest. I think we still have a decent enough turn here. We want to wait 1 turn for them to move up a bit more, and then we can do some great pushing, presumably. All right, so we'll not short rest. All right, so what are you up to? That's fine. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying. And more just because he's healing himself. We're going to use the earth, but I mean, neither of them are attacking, so it's good that we didn't short rest early. All right, so well, we have to go before him, so it's just these 2 cards always. So this round we get air. I guess we should put this where it actually is supposed to be so we can kind of track. Ugh, man, this on TTS is rough. Well, we're definitely attacking the Earth Demon then, since this is going to have 2 shield. So the Frost Demon goes first at 18, does move +1, which gives it 5 movement. 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, yep. And has shield 2 and suffers 1 damage if there's fire, but there's not. We'll have ice infused next round. Kind of scary with this, but that's okay. All right, and so then it's our turn. So we're going to use the top of Simulacrum, gaining 1 experience. We're going to consume the earth and the air just to do an attack 5, range 3, targeting the elite earth demon. Boom. Okay. So 5 damage, putting down to 12. We've got a move 2, which creates fire, huh? Yeah, the annoying thing is we passed up our opportunity to get wind here. Because the pushing is good. We're also not really going to be able to push them both into traps anymore. There's only this one we can push into a trap. I mean, there's no reason not to do the move and create fire, I guess. Question is, should we move all the way back? I think the answer is probably yes. We can still hit this from here. Hitting that one is probably less important. I'm not even sure that we do 2 target. Actually, we can actually just do ice spikes here. That's actually pretty good. Getting a wound on both of them is reasonably valuable, and we can just kite for a bit. All right, so we'll do the move 2, creating fire. We're going to fire and ice. With the ice, we can theoretically even consume it with Rebel's Evocation. All right, so that's our turn. So now we actually have to do a short rest, which is unfortunate because there are 2 cards specifically that we cannot lose. All right, that's actually perfectly fine. Probably not using ice spikes again after that. So that was a oops. Oh yeah, we can draw our hand to hand now. Oh, beautiful. All right. So let's see what they're up to. So this needs to be actually reshuffled. It's a little bit annoying. Didn't miss a reshuffle at some point, did I? No. Okay. Good. Oops. Because of having to manually draw stuff, it's kind of annoying, right? No, so this was not supposed to reshuffle. That was like that. This stays like that. This gets reshuffled. TTS not making doing this scenario easier. All right, so let's see what you're up to. Okay. So there will be ice created this round. He'll also create ice, and then he's going to consume it at some point. It doesn't really matter too much. So we definitely want to use ice spikes because we've got the fire, and again we're going to have ice, which I guess, like I said, we can use with Robes of Evocation, just because that's 1 extra damage, kind of free. And then what after that? So then we kind of want to set up for the following turn. Let's have a look at what they're all doing. So -1 movement, so it's going to be 3 movement and 3 movement respectively. And this can actually attack a bit further. So 1, 2, 3, and can shape like this. We need to move 2 back. That's fine though, because there's a coin there. And then this 1, 2, 3. So both of them can move. I mean, you're going to move to like here and here. This isn't good for pushing, so it's not the following turn we want to push either. Unless we were to go this way, and we could theoretically do pushing, but then we get trapped in a corner. Better to kite back further, especially since we're wounding them now. All right. So there will be ice, and then the next turn there'll be earth. That makes shaping the ether pretty tempting, because then we can actually get 2 targets stun on both of them. It's not for a lot of damage, but they'll be wounded, so it's actually just it's just giving us free damage. So in that case, what would be the... it would be nice if we create fire. Unfortunately, we just lost our fire creation, so it's actually just bad for this, but that's okay. Oh, he's going to consume any element anyway, so we can't really... So presumably... ECO, I have it somewhere, but my desk, my office is a bit of a mess now. What is the consumption order for, again? Because I need to see what the Earth Demon's going to consume, because it actually matters what we create. Because there will be ice generated. Sorry, I know I asked you this so many times, and I really do have it written down here somewhere, but I just need to do some organization. Since I've been working on 2 classes at the same time, it's more disorganized than usual. So this will create ice after us. So again, ice will be created for the round. We'll use the ice with our robes of evocation. We'll use ice spikes hitting both of them. Ice will be recreated, and the Earth Demon will go and consume some sort of an element, which will either be the ice or another element we create. What we want to do the following turn is to have ice and earth. Earth will be created the following round. So we need him not to get rid of the ice, actually. So wind, dark, frost, light. Okay, thank you. So creating dark actually with primal duality is good then. It sucks because that uses our best initiative. But if we don't do that... Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah. So he'll use ice last. Ice is very low priority. Unfortunately, we actually can't create any other elements now while moving, except for ice, light, and dark. And light and dark, he'll always consume one of these. We have to keep the ice around so that we can get the 2-target shaping the ether. So yeah, it just sucks giving up this initiative, but I think this still has to be correct. All right. Well, which one of these we go at doesn't really matter then. So we'll just do this. Again, Themis isn't here right now, but we're getting betrayed by our own rules while playing this class again. Our own rigidity. All right, so we're going to go first at 15. Oh, you are here. Yeah. You see the hoops we're having to jump through again in order to... Well, it's actually not really hoops. I mean, this would actually be a problem no matter what, whether it was our rules or not. Actually, like I said, though, that this actually is not my masochism, right? It has nothing... I mean, he will always consume the ice because we can't create another element while moving other than by doing rival duality, which is what we don't want to do and what we're having to do anyway. So actually, it doesn't change anything whether this would be my rules or not. All right. So the beginning of the round, ice is created. We're going to, oops, back there. We're going to use the top of ice spikes, consuming fire, gaining 1 experience. And we're going to consume ice using our robes of evocation. We're never going to get more than 2 targets. This is definitely a good robes of evocation. So this, we get from the fire, we get +1 attack and wound, and from robes of evocation, we get +1 to the entire attack action. So this gives us an attack 3 wound. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, expand. So we'll do first on the Ice Demon, then on the Earth Demon. Interesting. So he will consume the fire, actually. Ooh, but the fire is good for us. Is there anything he consumes before that? Dark, yes. Okay, okay. So that's still, it's still worth... All right, well, we'll do this in a second. First, let's do the damage. So we get 3 damage on the Earth Demon, a complete whiff on the Frost Demon, which is actually the wrong order. Killing the Frost Demon is a higher priority. Well, the Frost Demon is harder to get away from, but also, I guess, less threatening because it doesn't immobilize. It's interesting to say. Yeah, so we created fire there. Yeah, we still want to do this. So what's tempting is we could actually use a generic move here to get Primal Duality back. The biggest reason we want to do this, we don't really care about Primal Duality's bottom in terms of generating elements anymore because Vengeance isn't going to be good for us again for the rest of the scenario. But we do care about having 15 initiative. We still have 17 initiative. I don't know that 15 or 17 actually makes a difference against these enemies here. And the biggest thing is actually, again, by creating dark, the Earth Demon will actually consume the dark to create earth. And that way we'll actually have ice, earth, and then this fire as well, which will give us the full shaping the ether, giving us +2 damage on both the targets as well. So definitely worth it. All right. So we will use Primal Duality now, moving, creating light and dark, performing a move 2. We have to go to here, like I said. This is 1, 2, 3, and expand. Yeah, can't hit us. Perfect. And we get a coin, which is always welcome. Okay. So then we're done. So then the Frost Demon goes. Frost Demon creates ice. and does move -1, so 3 movement. 1, 2, 3, taking 1 from his wound, down to 15. And then the Earth Demon goes, consumes Dark, creating Earth, and also I believe has 3 movement, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. 1, 2, 3 to here, and goes down to 8 with its wound. Beautiful. All right. And the Frost Demon needs to be reshuffled, as do we. So we have to do all this stuff manually, because the scenario does not allow for using scripts. Okay. So let's see what they're up to. Ranged 18. All right, but we're at 17, so that's fine. These all tick down. So this round there will be Earth created. Doesn't really matter. So yes, we have a very nice Shaping the Ether. We just need to go before the 18, which is going to be at 17. That's fine. Be creating Ice, which is a little risky, but should be okay. Yeah, the biggest problem actually is we don't have good initiative after this. We may actually just have to use this as a generic move and get it back so that we can have good initiative again the following turn. We'll see. Yeah, because we definitely don't want him immobilizing us. Well, that's interesting. No, because he'll consume our ice and heal. No. All right, so we're going to go at 17 here. We're going to, so again, Earth is actually made strong this round. And we're going to use Shaping the Ether. So we're going to gain 1 experience. We're going to consume Earth, Ice, and Fire, which gives us Attack 3, Range 3, Stun to target. So we'll do the Ice Demon and the Earth Demon. Oh, classic. Someday we'll stop taking this perk. All right, well, we created ice no matter what. That's interesting. All right, so both of them are stunned. And in both cases, we do 3 damage. Down to 12. Down to 5. And then now there's actually no point in using this. We can actually get this back for sure, which is great. Do we want to grab a coin or move back further? Grabbing a coin is greedy, but here is maybe safe-ish. I think we are 5-0 in that add target has literally never once been useful. I mean, I don't believe we've ever had add target be useful thus far on any class we played. And we played 2 ranged classes with it. God, I love that modifier. All right. So how do we want to do this? So the Earth Demon just did his ranged attack, so we're not really afraid of him doing range. So we could actually just go over to this coin, which could then set up pushing them into a trap. But if we go down here, we can also just set up pushing them into a trap. This is more dangerous to go over here, but it's also a coin. This is tough, actually. I think we can afford to grab the coin. So we're actually going to do that. We're going to move to there, using the bottom of Infernal Vortex simply as a generic move too. And then we're going to use 1 charge of, 1 charge for Minor Endurance Potion in order to get it back. All right, so then they go, they each lose their stuns, and they each take 1 damage. Okay. So now, this goes in our discard. Nothing to reshuffle there, nothing to reshuffle there or there. This takes down. This we still have. And so now it's going to be fire. So we're going to have ice and fire as our 2 elements. We could have created earth as well. No. Ice and fire is normally a good combo, but doesn't do so much here. Probably the most reasonable thing is just to Winter's Grasp one of them. Do we need to kill him? Or we could actually just do a 2-target Simulacrum this turn. Well, anyway, let's see what they're up to first. Man, you're right. You're not wrong, Themris. I do love this. The no randomness thing, I mean, all right, yeah, there is still this, but significantly eliminating randomness? Winter's Edge, you mean? Or did I call it Winter's Grasp? Did you get me? Is that why you're typing Winter's Grasp in all caps? Oh, zoot. You're killing me. All right. So -1 movement on you is 2 movement, so you get to there at most. You did infect me. And then this has -1 movement as well, so 3 movement. So 1, 2, 3 to there at most. As long as we move back before 78, we're fine. We don't have Shaping Ether anymore, so we actually don't have our push. Yeah, I do love it. You're not wrong. I do like that aspect. Again, I don't love the... Well, all right, I don't love that TTS is annoying for it, but that's not the scenario's fault. I don't love the fact that there can be an Elite Wind Demon. That's pretty much my only legitimate complaint is this. I mean, yes, I understand there is a way to work around it, but I'm generally so opposed to Elite Wind Demons in 2-player that even putting it in 1-player. Yeah, I understand why there have to be all demon types. So yeah, I understand Themers. I get it. It's just that's I mean it is still a fair complaint though, because I mean I am still playing the game, not cheating, playing the game normally, and I'm in this scenario and there is an Elite Wind Demon with Disarm, which is my only actual complaint. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of clunky, but these things, there's not that many rules to remember anyway when you're playing a solo scenario, especially this one. You could have even just written something into the rules. Yes, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. You could just say that like the Wind Demon has +1 attack instead of disarm or something for the scenario rules. Or muddle's kind of weak. I mean, yeah, something. Just change the disarm into something else. I agree. If they'd done that, I would have. Yeah, not to stun. All right. Yeah, ECO. There we go. Okay. So anyway. We need to move back from the Frost Demon. Let's focus. Then you have to pick up Heavy Bassinet. Oh, it's epic. For those who don't know, the Heavy Bassinet is just a terrible item, which is over here. You're immune to stun and muddle. All right. There we go. So, we need to move away. We shouldn't let the Frost Demon hit us. It's tempting to try to use Burial, but I don't think that's correct. So this still does need a little bit more damage. I guess Vengeance can also actually just be a 2-target attack too. We don't have our robes anymore, which is a shame. So this is going to move to there, and this is going to move to here. So we won't actually get a good chance to hit both of them with an AoE again. There's no Earth. We could have created Earth late last turn, but no, we've seen the new actions this turn. We can't do it anymore now. I mean, we also have Immobilize with Simulacrum. That's interesting. Actually, that is interesting. Man, I never thought I would be using Simulacrum with only one mode and it being Immobilized, but that's actually the most relevant here. That actually works quite well, because by immobilizing the Frosting, we can stay here, which allows us to use the bottom of Burial, and we still get to go before them while throwing away some late initiative cards. And Simulacrum, again, the top could be useful, but it's not looking like it's going to be great here. So this is quite nice. So again, he has 2 movement, so he'll go here, and this will stay there. And then we can even maybe hit this with Burial, the bottom of Burial, just to finish it off, so we only have to deal with one enemy. We'll see. All right, this definitely makes sense. So we're going to play Burial and Simulacrum. And so, what was the element that became strong this round? It's fire, right? Yeah, because I said it would be ice and fire. So next will be to wind. All right, so we go first at 65. Not something you normally expect to say. So, I mean, no matter what, we always have to immobilize the Frost Demons. Let's do that first. So we'll consume the 2 elements, ice and fire, gain 1 experience, and make an attack 2, range 3, immobilize muddle. I'm not going to bother with the muddle, just hit the immobilize on the Frost Demon. All right. Okay, pretty reasonable. So 3 damage to the Frost Demon, putting it down to 8, and dropping an Immobilize on it. Now, I guess we can use the Top of Vengeance next turn to hit both of them now, and that will actually kill the Earth Demon plus the 2 turns of wound, so better to hit Burial here, and then Vengeance should actually basically kill both of them. All right, so let's do that. So let's use the bottom of Burial. So we create Dark, and we make an attack 3, range 4, and we will again attack the Ice Demon. Okay, creating Fire, interesting. So we get 3 more damage here, putting us down to 5. Okay, so then we're done. So then the Frost Demon does create ice, even though we can't do anything, as ECO pointed out. And the Earth Demon moves 2. And they both take 1 damage from their wound and lose the Immobilize. So the Frost Demon's down to 4. And the Earth Demon's down to 3. Okay, and that's the end of the round. So this needs to be reshuffled. Still no reshuffle here. Just making sure we're not messing this up. So manual draw 58, manual draw 83. So we just need to beat that. He has -1 movement, so we do want to have the option to move away. We're gonna have wind this round. Simulacrum actually could have been amazing here, but it was definitely correct to do what we did there, I think. With wind, we could use Winter's Edge, but Vengeance is just better. Hitting both of them while they're standing next to each other is definitely more valuable than anything else we could really do here, because it basically kills both of them. We should save our early initiative and I guess our best attack so we can just play these things. All right, this works. So we go first at 33. We're going to use Vengeance. Simply, I have a question. No, it would be instead, so you actually wouldn't get the attack. I was wondering if you could actually use this targeting things that with nothing that it could kill. But even if we could here, this would be bad because it's instead, so we would actually lose the attack. All right, and it's his normal targets, and I guess if there are no normal targets now, you wouldn't be able to use it. Okay, so we'll hit the Earth Demon and then the Frost Demon, simply using Vengeance as an attack 2, range 3, like that. So first the Earth Demon. Didn't even need that. Wrong order as usual. Then the Frost Demon. Yep, wrong order as usual. So this actually dies directly because we got 3 damage, and this only takes 2, so it goes down to 2. Yeah, it sucks. If we'd done it the other way around, we would have been able to pick up coins, which would have been nice. All right. That's okay, though. So then we have the bottom of Crystalizing Blast. Ugh. And we have to pass up these coins. We also have to run in a direction we don't really want to go. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Let's see. If we moved here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. If we go 1, 2, 3, down here, 6, 7, yeah, it's the same. All right, so I guess we'll just move back to here. Maybe we go in here next? No, I don't think that's correct. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if we have Simulacrum for the Flame Demon, right? It's actually better to do the Wind Demon first, because then we don't have to worry about not losing Simulacrum, because Winter's Edge alone should kill the Flame Demon, and we just have to reroll every time we get Winter's Edge, so actually that seems fine. All right, so we're going to move there using Crystalizing Blast. There's nothing else really to do here. And then the Frost Demon is going to consume fire and create new ice. There's going to be ice next round as well. It has -1 movement, so 3. 1, 2, 3 to here. And goes down to 1 life with its wound. All right. So that's the end of that round. I think I'm going to kill it with Winter's Edge and go pick up. I mean, I'm planning on long resting here no matter what. Get the health back, refresh my spent items. Seems pretty good. The problem with long resting here is... No, because then we can just do bottom move with ice +1 to create wind before we go in or something. Yeah, that's fine. All right, yeah. So, but I mean, we have no reason not to just go grab a coin. Oops. So, well, I guess we're going to see what he does, but it doesn't really matter. All right, we go first at 17. So we're going to use the top of Winter's Edge. I don't think there's any reason not to attack here. I mean, we could have just gone after him and had him die from his wound. We could heal ourselves. We would gain 1 more life, and we'd be 1 close to the door, but we wouldn't get a coin. I mean, come on. Come on. All right, so we'll attack with Winter's Edge because it's fun. So attack 5 on the Frost Demon. Creating ice as well. There was also ice created this round, so all the ice. There was ice, and then ice, and then ice. And actually, some more ice. 4 ices this round. Do we get something for creating the same element 4 times in a round? All right, so this dies. And then, yeah, we use our bottom move 2, which creates ice, going there as well. Because there was ice, well, from last round, I guess 3 times in a round. Ice from last round, ice was created automatically this round from this. We created ice with our attack, and then we created ice with our move. Should be more achievements. I agree. I know, I actually felt kind of sad when I no longer had to reference the achievement book, right? Okay. So now we're going to do a long rest. I guess we can just do this manually like this. Oh, so this should actually be here. And so this creates fire. I didn't do all of them because I'm also not a terrible person, but I did most of them. I actually think we actually missed an achievement. I think there's one we're supposed to have added to our campaign. We'll worry about that later, though. All right, so long rest. I mean, there's no reason not to use this while we long rest, so we'll create Earth. Heal 2. Yeah, we could choose card to lose. It is interesting because there. I mean, there's almost no possibility that Vengeance is still good, right? I mean, the top is never good. The question is whether we might find ourselves in a situation where this bottom mortality could be relevant, but both the enemies don't move. I mean, do move typically, so we would have to see that they're not moving and then walk up and trade like taking 5 damage for dealing 3. If we somehow got disarmed, if things went wrong in this room, that could be relevant, but I think that's still the worst thing we have. I guess similarly, Primal Duality is not super relevant, but it's just our lowest initiative. Yeah, let's just get rid of Vengeance. It already did its job. Oh, that's true. There is pull on the Wind Demon. All right, that's a fair point. Hopefully it shouldn't matter, but it could. All right, that's the point. But is there anything else we really want to get rid of? We need this to create ice to set up our thing. This is just a lot of movement, which also helps us get over to this room, which is quite relevant. I mean, this is a move 3, but this is a move 4. We have to keep this. I mean, yeah, maybe Shaping the Ether is kind of irrelevant now. Actually, Shaping the Ether is irrelevant now. None of this stuff actually matters anymore. Yeah, that's fair. That's actually better to get rid of. We just had that for the room we just finished. All right, so we actually get to see what's in this room, right? So we'll see that the Wind Demon is going to be here. So we can attack it from here with 1, 2, 3, 4 with Winter's Edge and have our summon here. Yes, and because of this type of door, it actually will focus our summon, right? Because we'll be here, our summon will be here, and it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 either, but summon always has lower initiative than us. Right, so if we move here this round and place this Malacrum there, then we are safe. Okay. So end round. And it was just fire that was infused there? Ah, so there's going to be wind infused this coming round. Or have I done this out of order? God, it's so difficult to track this when you can't actually when you have to manually do all the rounds. But I believe it, yeah, the fire was only, yes. Yep, all right. So there will actually be wind created this coming round. So we'll have that no matter what. So we actually don't need to use our wand this turn. So I guess then we'll have ice the following round. So we actually also don't actually need to create ice. Is there any reason not to? If we place our summon here, it's worse. Because, I mean, we could use the bottom. No, we can't use the bottom Wizard Edge. We can't heal it. We need to keep the top. Doesn't really seem to be anything else. Oh, some doppelgangers at bottom. Oof. Oh. That's brutal. So I actually have to move next to the door first. So we will need to still create an element. Because this turn we moved, moving away from the door was a mistake. I forgot about that. I mean, obviously I should know it's a bottom because I use Simulacrum's top all the time. All right, so let's just throw away some cards that don't really matter here. This doesn't really matter here. This is probably not going to matter here. Not for the near future. So here, this turn, yeah, we're going to play these two things. I guess we can just do it like this actually now. So wind is created. We use one of these to move next to the door. And here. And that's the end of the round. So we are going to have to create wind in the end. So ice will be created this round for us. So we will create the doppelganger. We need to save that. I guess we can just get rid of burial. We're unlikely to use that. The attack does theoretically do 1 damage. That's range 4. All right. I mean, it is 1 damage is 1 damage. We also probably have to create fire with a potion at some. Oh no, fire will be created for us pretty soon, but not that soon. This is early initiative. This can be relevant. I don't know. No, this is good. This could be useful for afterwards, but we need to cycle back through this. So let's see. This turn, we create the doppelganger. Frost is created for us. We use our wand to create wind, and we throw away a top. We want this top, and we want presumably this bottom, and so we just have to choose one of these bottoms that we want. And I guess this is more relevant than this. All right. So yeah, here we go. We're going to use the, so it's our turn. Well, let's do it like this. So ice is created. We use the bottom of doppelganger, which gives us, for some reason, again, only 1 experience, despite being a pretty derpy summon. All right, what is the doppelest of gangers? Well, it's got to be this color, right? So we create the doppelganger here. Let's get rid of this stuff. Oops. It's 10 health. And we do nothing with our top. And then at the end of our turn, or before it turns over, we create wind with the wand. And that ends the round. All right, so now we just move onto the door. And we attack with this no matter what. So I guess it was actually kind of silly to keep this. Can we use our potion for ice spikes? Yeah, probably. Our potion can give us ice in the future, which we do need. We can always create it with it. If we lose this, because we have to keep Winter's Crest. Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's difficult. All right, how much health does this thing have? It has 8 health. So our Winter's Grass should bring it down to 3. We don't have an easy follow-up to kill it, really. Can't easily have both of these things again. Using a potions feels bad, though. Oh, there will be fire. Hold on, hold on. So this round there'll be earth created. And then the following round there will be fire. Actually, so no. We want these two. So I guess we're using this round no matter what. Because yeah, then the following round we can do both ice spikes and burial, which both should do a bit of damage to the wind demon, hopefully allowing us to finish it before it gets through our doppelganger. What if it does multi-target? Well, then we're in quite a bind, huh? And unfortunately we can't see that, but I guess they've already flipped a multi-target. I think they have one more multi-target. I mean, they flipped their AoE and their multi-target. So this is about as good of a setup as we can possibly have here. All right. I think this is correct. So we're gonna, so it's our turn, our summon goes first, does nothing. So then we use Infernal Vortex bottom. Is there any reason not to create ice? No, I don't think so. So we will use the actual bottom Infernal Vortex, creating ice and doing a move 2. So 1, get an elite Wind Demon right here, just 8 health. Alright. We didn't, I could have done this round manually. Oh, and there was actually Earth created this round, interesting enough. That's actually quite good. Alright, well, it's nice that he's derping. That helps us a lot. Because Earth was created this round because it was the Earth round. Yeah, so he's actually not even going to hit us. Well, all right, yeah, pretty fortunate. We didn't even need to do all this extra setup just to deal with it. But again, you can't really count on something silly like this. Yeah, so we definitely want to move back. From here, we can hit it anyway with both of our things, and this way the doppelganger always gets focused before us. So we move back, and then we use Winter's Edge, consuming the old ice. So there's a new ice because we just created that one here, and the wind, gaining 1 experience, which gives us an attack 5, range 4, pierce 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we create fire. And the fire was going to be created next round no matter what, but sure. So this, we pierce all its shields, and we just do 5 damage, putting it down to 3. Okay. So then we're done. So then the Wind Demon goes. Push 1, target all adjacent enemies, does nothing, and attack, but it actually consumes the earth and gets -2 range on its attack, which gives it just 2 range on its attack, which hits nothing, so it's not moving. Quite fortunate, like I said. All right, so these tick down. Let's go here. And these go, well, I mean, I guess we're seeing what it's doing, but yeah, all right. So it's doing that. It's going to pull the doppelganger, but that's fine. Okay, so yeah, this turn is fine. So the Wind Demon goes first. So first, there's a new fire created this round. The Wind Demon is going to create wind, and it's going to, it has range 4 already, which I believe is enough. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. So both of us equidistant, but our summon always has lower initiative than us, so it is going to focus the doppelganger. So it makes an attack 4, pull 1, targeting the doppelganger. Okay, so 3. I'm not going to bother placing disarm on the doppelganger because it literally does nothing, and it gets pulled by 1. Okay, so then the Wind Demon's done, so then it's our turn at 40. So to begin with, well, we have robes, but we'll see about that. Yeah, we probably long rest again, so we can probably use the robes freely with burial. But to begin with, we'll use the top of ice spikes. No reason to use it there because ice spikes shouldn't. Well, I guess it's kind of the same. I guess it splits the damage more. And what if we get a crit? right, well, regardless, we're using fire on the ice spikes and gaining 1 experience. This adds +1 attack and wound. So I guess we always want to use Robes of Evocation for one of the two, either the bottom or the top. And I guess if we use it on the top and we get a crit, then we don't, or +2, then we don't. Then we can actually move and go grab a coin or something. So sure. All right. It's because we're planning on long resting before we face the Flame Demon anyway. So we actually are going to use the Robes of Evocation to add +1 to our entire attack. We're going to do this by consuming. Well, it doesn't really matter which element we consume. Air will be created again next round. Ice is always going away. Sure, we'll consume the air, just to stick it to the Wind Demon. So this actually turns our ice spikes into an attack 3, range 3, wound 1, 2, 3, and expand like this, hitting the Wind Demon. Here we go. Ugh. That's the opposite of what we wanted. All right, so we put a wound on him, but deal no damage. And then we're going to use the bottom of Burial, creating a dark, and we get an attack 3, range 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another attack. Now we'd really like to see a +1. Nice. All right, so that makes our 3 into a 4. This enemy has 2 shield, so that does 2 damage, putting him down to 1, so he will in fact die to his wound, and we do have the luxury of long resting, even if we didn't get to move this round. All right, so these go here. And this gets reshuffled. So then we can actually do this manually, right? So we're going to do long rest. So press reveal. So this round there was wind created by the scenario. All right, so the Wind Demon goes to 37, quite simply. Has 1 health left, so dies to its wound. And then our summon goes, does nothing, and we go, and we finish our long rest. Gives us 1 health back, refreshes these items. Let's just choose a card to lose. I mean, Burial's a really easy choice here. Ice Spikes can theoretically put a wound on the Flame Demon, which can be relevant. Obviously, Winter's Edge and this are quite important. This gives low initiative. This is bigger movement to get across. Burial is really not worth it. An attack 3 into something with 4 shield, just never really getting us there. And the top loss, yeah, theoretically it could do a little bit of damage, but it's definitely worse than just using. I mean, honestly, Ice Spikes, Winter's Edge are both better attacks, and Primal Duality can theoretically even be better unless we have specifically both elements. All right, so that's eliminated. Oh no, that is actually supposed to be there. So this round there will be ice created. And we're just going to move across, right? 1, 2, 3, or 4. It basically changes nothing. Can we be a bit greedy here? The other advantage of being greedy is that we can actually time a cycle through. What would be nice is if we can use Winter's Edge and then immediately after use Winter's Edge again by short resting. And we can do that if we do Winter's Edge on the 3rd turn, right? So what if we do 1 turn moving to here, 1 turn to there, 1 turn to here, which creates ice. No, because it's the 3rd turn. So no, we really want to go like this. Turn 1, turn 2, move here and create ice. Turn 3 onto the door, attack. And then we can short rest, bring it back, and do it again if we need to. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay. So hold on, let's keep up. So it's going to be Earth created this round. Right. So definitely the biggest move then. Again, we probably have some leeway to just pick up coins here and be safe, but no reason to take any unnecessary risks when we're playing what's supposed to be a pretty difficult scenario, and we're still against an elite Flame Demon. You never know. I mean, if we get basically 1 miss, things can change significantly. All right, so we need to keep this, no matter what. So this is actually for the turn before we go in. This is for the turn we go in. Other than that, basically the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. I guess we just play Ice Spikes for now. All right, so let's do it. So again, this round there is Earth, and we just perform a move 4 with the bottom crystalizing blast. 1, 2, 3, 4 to over here. Grabbing a coin. And then we're done. So now we need to create ice while moving. Is it better to move in with Vengeance or to move in with Primal Duality? I guess Vengeance gives us 1 more movement. This gives us some other elements, though, which could be relevant for something like Robes or for preventing it from consuming an element we want or something like that. All right, I guess that's probably true. I don't know if the 1 extra movement will really mean that much. We also have our boots, worst case scenario. Well, if we're here, 1, 2, and our boots. Hold on, we can actually see where he is, right? So he's here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we do 2 here, this turn, and then next turn we go here with our boots, we can go all the way back to here, and from there we can still use the hawk helm. We can't move more than that, so no, that's actually fine. I mean, I guess the advantage of this is we could actually, but we won't have both the elements to do this anyway. No, we'll use primal. All right, we'll save primal duality. We'll use vengeance now. Okay. So this round there is fire, which is infused. We move 2 with infernal vortex, creating ice, and do nothing with the top of vengeance. So there. So now the real question is, should we bring back vengeance to have a card to lose in our hand just in case? I think the answer is probably yes. That way, I don't know, if he gets a crit, he'd have to get even, and it's really unlikely, right? But still, I think we're so safe here. It's not longevity that matters, so let's do that. Let's bring back vengeance to our hand, just so that worst case scenario, we have a card to lose in case something bad happens when we open the door. Because this is probably the best opportunity for us to do that. After that, we're going to have to be doing meaningful attacks and things which create elements. Okay, so that ends the round. So we created our ice, there was fire, so wind is going to be infused this round, so we'll have Winter's Edge, just as planned, along with Primal Duality. Okay, so here we go. So there's wind created. We're going to do a move 2 with Primal Duality. We're going to create light and dark. Going to here, opening the door. So what do we have? Like I said, we have just an elite flame demon, which is there. An elite flame demon is going to do this thing with fire up, no less. We do have robes of evocation though, so that's okay. All right. So, oops, didn't do it correctly. There we go. So what we're going to do, well, actually the fire doesn't really matter. Well, we're still using robes of evocation here no matter what. So we can move more. Is there any reason to do that? No, he'll always have enough movement to reach us. So there's no real reason to use our boots here, I think. So what we are supposed to do, though, is to use Winter's Edge, consuming air and ice. And we'll use our robes of evocation as well, just to protect us against a -1. I don't think we actually have -1s left in our deck. Do we? That's actually a good question then. So again, he has 5 health, 4 shield, and we're making an attack 5, pierce 4, so normally this should kill. Do we have -1s in our deck? We do not. There are no -1s in our deck. So there's actually no reason to use Robes of Evocation here. It would remove the fire for him, but that actually doesn't matter because what he does with the fire is irrelevant to us. Yep, we have no -1s in our deck. We've confirmed this, so there's actually no reason to add +1 here. Better to save the Robes of Evocation in case they could be useful for something else. All right, so simply a Winter's Edge. So the only thing that doesn't kill is a miss. We gain our 1 experience. We did not. So we gain 1 experience for using Winter's Edge. We get attack 5, range 4, pierce 4. Targeting the Flame Demon, the elite Flame Demon. A crit. Nice. All right, so we successfully completed the scenario. And we get a reward. Well, even despite my complaining about the elite Wind Demon, that wasn't too difficult. Fortunately, Simulacrum saved us, and him flipping a terrible card when we entered. Again, the biggest problem is even with, and I think even Themris, who loves this class and loves the scenario, agrees. And I do generally really like the scenario. I really like the design. The fact that Simulacrum is actually not even a solution, right? Because the Wind Demon has multi-target there. I guess just 2 multi-targets? No, 3 multi-targets. So even Simulacrum isn't a true solution to this. You actually just have the possibility of just getting RNG'd out of the scenario if he does like 2 turns of this when you try to do Simulacrum. So yeah, I think the only fix that I would... Yeah, where is Dynamo when you need it? The only fix I would make to the scenario is I do agree. I would replace in the scenario rules the disarm for elite Wind Demons with something else. The other problem... Well, still a scenario. What was the weight? My other issue with the scenario is how easy Vengeance made the first room, which is a little bit of a shame as well. Those, I guess, would be the 2 things. But Vengeance is just a problematic card. What is the weight? Can you execute with Vengeance while disarmed? Yes, you can. Vengeance is not an attack. I mean, disarm or executes aren't attacks. But again, you can't execute an elite, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so we successfully completed the scenario. We gained 11 experience here. The scenario level was 4, which is actual 4. So 12, so 23 experience total. Okay. And then these coins should be worth 4 each, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So it's 20 gold. Not bad. 69 up to 89. All right, and we're going to get our reward, which is the elemental boots, item 149. So everyone has been warned. We're about to flip over item 149. I mean, if you're here for the solo scenario, I expect you knew what we were getting into when we beat it, but just one last fair warning. So a 149 are the elemental boots. Have a look at these now. If you move 5 or more on your turn, create any element. It's a spent item, and like I said before to Themris, I legitimately don't think that these are better than the Boots of Striding, at least not on an unenhanced elementalist. But we'll have to take a look and see. I love the Boots of Striding. I think they're incredibly valuable. So the real question I have to ask myself now is whether I guess I can try them. Yeah, build dependent. I suppose that's fair. And having solo scenario items which are build dependent is not an issue. Like I don't think this is a bad solo scenario item. I think it's interesting, well designed. Like I said, the bigger issue is just again whether or not it's actually worth for me to bring now over my other boots. So I can sell these for 25, or I can sell my boots of striding for 10. So I also get 15 more gold if I choose to keep my boots of striding. Where are my other cards? There are 2 there. Missing? No, never mind. We had 8. All right. Because again, in order to actually use the elemental boots, we would need move 5s. So again, one easy suggestion is putting +1 move here. This only costs 55 gold, and that's pretty tempting, right? Especially at this high of a level, we use crystalizing blast much more for the bottom than the top. So this essentially turns crystalizing blast into a move 5, which creates any element, as long as we have the ability to refresh this, and we can refresh this pretty often because we do have the moon earring. So that is the biggest temptation. Otherwise, in order to get move 5, we would have to use either raw enhancement or pure power, pure augmentation. And so then in that case, that turns these into consume one of the 2 elements to create any element, which is less reliable, without a doubt. It kind of gives you one of those bad, well, item whatever, 72 feelings, or 71, 72, I don't remember which one it is, where you're like, oh, but that's easy. I have my move 3 in, so I'll just use my boots of striding, and then, oh, wait a second. Uh, I mean, getting used to playing without Boots of Striding is a big problem. But so the point is, it's very good with this, but having Boots of Striding on this class is so valuable because we have so many important move 2s. I mean, Primal Duality especially now, and then Infernal Vortex reasonably so, Stoking Hail less so. That having the flexibility of using these moves and using Boots of Striding in the same turn can make us, I mean, can keep us safe in situations where we otherwise wouldn't be, or can allow us to get into range. So I'm just not sure that it's actually, I mean, what you gain here is more valuable. Creating one any element with a move. It's also on a move which doesn't, I mean, that's the other issue, right? Is this or these don't actually create an element either. So basically, I mean, yeah, the difference is using Boots of Striding with one of these creates only one specific element, not any element. But it can also be any of them, so you have more flexibility about which card you can use. You can also have good initiative. Again, this, and this are good initiative. These and this are bad initiative. And it's only our bottoms that we ever rely on pretty much for initiative. Our tops are never good initiative. Yeah, I think there are a lot of points against this, to be perfectly honest. All right. I think we'll hang on to it. Maybe we'll test it at some point. If we sell it, we do have enough for enhancement now then, if we sell it. We can put wind on the bottom of Infernal Vortex. That's tempting, right? We don't need it so much because we do have the Wand of Storms, which doesn't really do anything else except help us get Winter's Edge. So I'm not sure it's completely necessary. I mean, is anything really necessary? We just have Vengeance now. So the only thing that matters is killing elites. I mean, I think the wind enhancement on Infernal Vortex is fine if you don't. I mean, if I didn't have the wand, it would be a completely different story. I would think that that would be absolutely essential, right? But the biggest thing is because I have this wand, it doesn't do anything else as well. I'm just less sure. Winter's Edge is extremely important for this party, but well, anyway, I don't think it's worth selling the Muscle Boots. I might give them a try at some point. So let's just leave this as is for now. All right, so we successfully completed that. We did not get our check marks. So next up, since that didn't take us too long, will be the Soothsinger solo scenario. So we can do 2 solo scenarios, then we'll take our eating break, and then we'll try to do 1 scenario after that. All right, so let's delete all this stuff. All right, so let's set her up. Let's have a look. All right, so fair warning to everyone, we're now going to go take a look at the solo scenario for the Soothsinger. So we should change the title of this. Music note solo scenario. All right. Easy peasy. So it's page 15. Battle of the Bards. It's a pretty sweet name, without a doubt. All right, let's set up the scenario itself, and then we'll have a look at what we're going to do, etc. B1A, I1A, G2B, A1B. Yeah, I'm not sure I love that they all have unique names. I mean, I like most of their names. I would say that the Soothsingers is probably one of my 2 least favorite. Yeah, that one as well. I mean, yeah, the 2 minis just changing one word, that's kind of silly. But I don't know. I don't like Soothsinger either, to be honest. It just, again, like you said, it is just a bard. I mean, she doesn't really heal, but it's also just a Soothsayer does a couple things. There are a couple things connotations, right? There's like seeing the future is the Soothsayer. She doesn't do anything to do with the future. This is more along the diviner. Um, and then doesn't heal. I don't know. There's not. It seems like this name was forced on this class to not call it a bard. Even in Pillars of Eternity, Chanter I actually felt was better and fit. I mean, it didn't stand out to me as much as this one. I have difficulty with this name. I mean, I think theoretically it can be, but it just doesn't. There's nothing really evocative about this class calling it a Soothsinger, right? And I also don't like Saw's. So I don't like Saw's name. I think this is just silly. I agree. I don't like Too Many's name. I don't like this name. I think. Uh, yeah, Soothe I guess can be like that. That's kind of fair. All right. Well, let's set this up. Oof. Lot of stuff, huh? Jeez, so much stuff. Ugh, man, this is gonna be a long scenario just for setup alone. How many doors do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4 doors. All right. the under doors as well. Oh no, forgot to copy this before locking it. All right. All right, so those are placed. So we'll need 2 cabinets, 2 barrels, 3 tables. 2 barrels. So what are the rulings for this? I mean, since we're allowed to study the scenario, are we allowed to just place the obstacles and stuff that are in the other room so we don't have to keep referencing the book? Or is it more, or were we kind of cheating last time? Are we only allowed to study the scenario before, and then while we're playing the scenario, we're not supposed to look ahead? Although that does seem kind of silly. So we can't just place everything? Okay. That makes things a little bit easier. I didn't place monsters last time because, I mean, this wasn't relevant last time because there wasn't really anything to place in the other rooms. You've perfect info, okay. Because, and placing monsters could have like made it more difficult for me to pay attention to what was actually on the board in terms of monsters, but yeah, here it does seem easier for us just to place these obstacles. This goes here. So those are the tables. Here are the barrels. We got a cabinet back here. We've got a cabinet in the first room. Okay. I'm guessing we have some allies in this. Which is going to make, isn't this going to be a long scenario then? Having to deal with all this ally stuff? I guess we'll see. Oh god, so many enemy types too. Bandit guards, bandit archers, city guards, city archers, stone golems, vermling shaman. Stone golems? Wait, just a vermling shaman? Ugh. Alright. So then we've got all the city guards and city archers. And bandit archers and bandit guards. Yeah, bookkeeping galore, exactly. That does seem to be where this is heading, and I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. I thought it was cool that there was a scenario like this once. I mean, I guess it makes sense because how else do you design a scenario for this, a solo scenario for this class? But I had said that we would do another regular scenario after this, but we'll see how long this one actually takes. We may only do this as our last scenario tonight. The last scenario, I agree with him. It's like I said, aside from that one minor stipulation, and I understand that it wasn't necessarily probably considered so much in the design, I do think that the Elementalist one was really well designed. It was fun, evocative. It was reasonable length too. I like the base mechanic. I thought it was just it was a cool scenario. This one, even if it's maybe not going to be too difficult of one, it does like. Is adding all of this really not? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It seems like it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare to slog through, but maybe I'm misinterpreting it. I haven't actually read the stuff yet. All right. Let's have a look at the special rules. The bandit guards and bandit archers are allies to you and enemies to all other monster types. Oh, so we're the bandits. Oh, that's so much worse. I guess that makes sense. Both are 2 levels lower than the scenario level and act on initiative 49, guards first and then archers, performing a move plus 0 attack plus 0 action using your attack modifier deck. Ooh, I like that all. Unfortunately, our modifier deck's not that good yet. I do like that though. All right, that's fun. That's also, I mean, so back-to-back solo scenarios, which are actually a nightmare to bookkeep on TTS because they're not going to fit properly into the thing each time. And I can't put them at 50. All right, so actually none of this, so I'm just never eliminating them, right? So this stuff we'll have, but not over here. And they're 2 levels below. Ugh. Are they just gonna? Ugh. Yeah, that increase to 2 retaliate is going to be interesting. Well, this is going to be, we're going to call this interesting. We'll see. We'll see. This actually seemed pretty difficult, to be honest. How do we even get through this next room? A 40. There is no. Oh. Oh, just I see what you're saying. That's not a bad idea, actually. Is there a 49 reshuffle? Can you think of a monster class that has a 49 reshuffle? If you can, bonus points. Otherwise, I have to dig through all of these, right? Or, I can just modify one of them. You're right. That's smarter. That is smart. Smart. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this out. Take this out. Reshuffle. So what we do here is put this to 49, and we'll call this Bandit Guard. Or will it do the, does it do their names correctly? No, I think it doesn't. We'll see. There we go. All right, so they'll flip those every time. Genius. Well thought, ECO. Smarter man than I. All right, so we've got 2 archers. Yeah, I did the 49. Oh, I didn't. I thought I did it. Just because I saw the 29, I guess, and I forgot to do it. My bad. Good catch. Good catch. All right, then we've got. What seems to be the biggest problem to me here is the retaliate. I guess only the elite has it. How we get? I guess only one will be attacking at a time. All right, maybe this is okay. Well, this should be interesting. I guess we'll see. I guess. No. At first glance, what also appears to me to be an issue with this scenario is it seems very obvious, right? It doesn't seem. I mean, you kind of just set up your song, you play your CC. I mean, I guess it's just playing the soothsayer, but it doesn't seem like you have a lot of decision making because you just have to sit behind your silly army while it hopefully runs forward and do nothing else. Like at least in the last one, we had stuff to do. This one, it seems like we don't really make many decisions. All right, so we would love Pierce. I don't think there is a Pierce song though. If you'll all just give me 1 second though, while I mean, we've got this set up now. Oh, actually, I should cut the recording here because it'll be for the second. I've actually we foolishly set up the on stream. Well, we'll cut it anyway.